one of our friends told Lisa this morning that she was watching the HTC on TV at 3 o'clock in the morning. I thought that was funny. Anyway, good afternoon. For the record, this is Ray Pohl, Chairman of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. Let me confirm that the following members are present. Members, when I call your names, please respond in the affirmative. Diane Coombs.
I saw her. She's here.
Yeah, I know she's there. Well, how about you, Val Oliver?
Here.
All right. How about you, John McLaughlin?
I'm here, yes.
I know. Great. And do we have Diane yet?
Have I what?
Diane, I know you're there. Let's see. Diane, you are muted, my dear. Yeah. Diane, you're going to need to unmute. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to confirm that the following members of our staff are here present. Members, when I call your names, or staff members, when I call your names, could you please respond in the affirmative? Holly Backus.
Present.
Thank you. Kadeem McCarthy.
Present.
Thank you very much. Okay, how about Diane? Is she off mute yet? Diane, you are still muted. If you can hear me. Well.
Did you call Ray?
What?
Did you call Stephen?
He knows about it. I'll text him.
Well, I saw him on a bit ago. I was just wondering if,
Stephen Welch was on a minute ago?
yeah.
He was.
He still is.
He is.
Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. All right. We're back now to seeing which board members are present. So Stephen Welch.
Here. And
All
for you
right.
3 a.m. watchers, stay away from the chips.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Thanks, Stephen. And I'm going to try this one more time and then we'll move along. Diane, you're still muted. Anyway, at some point, unmute and let us know you're here. Okay.
Can you
So-
hear me?
Oh, there you go. All right, great. Thanks. So you're present.
Wait a minute. I can't. I'm trying to tell you, I can't get a clear screen. It still says waiting.
But we
Oh.
can see your hand and your eyeball.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what's wrong with it. The stupid iPad.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you what to do, but I'm not really very skilled in that department. Well, maybe Kadeem, Holly, maybe one of you can call, or NCTV, somebody help Diane out. All right, in the meantime, I'm going to read from my boilerplate here.
Ray, Carrie is also here.
Oh, hi. Wow. So that's Carrie Thornwell, for the record, has joined us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, now I'll try the boilerplate. This open meeting of the Nantucket Historic District Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order dated March 12th, 2020. That order, posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to convene remotely so long as public access to deliberations is reasonably provided. We're being very reasonable. This meeting is convening via Zoom with video and audio recording, and we are being broadcast via YouTube on the town's YouTube channel. With no member of the public having asked to speak at this time, this meeting will not feature public comment. Materials provided to members for the meeting or provided during the meeting are, unless otherwise noted, available on our town's website. During the meeting, I will introduce the topics, agenda topics, and speakers. And so please remember to mute your Zoom audio until your name is called. And please direct all comments and questions through the chair to avoid crosstalk and to make the taking of minutes easier. Lastly, votes will be conducted via roll call. That's it for the boilerplate. And now, if I could have a motion from one of my dedicated fellow members to approve today's agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Val. On that motion, and I'm going to assume for the moment that Diane is out of reach, let's start with John.
Can you hear me, Ray?
Yes, I can. So are you in favor of the motion to approve the agenda?
I got the meeting posting up on the screen. Now I can't get it off.
Well, no, that's okay. But are you in favor of the agenda, approving the agenda?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Stephen Welch,
Aye.
Carrie Thornwell,
Aye.
Val Oliver,
Aye.
and Ray Pohl is in favor. So that motion carries. So now we are on to a few remaining new business items from January 26th, starting with 26 Sesapana Road. I think that's supposed to be Sesapana Road.
Right.
Solar.
I got to recuse from this.
Okay, thank you, Carrie. In the meantime, Diane, how are you doing there?
I am going to turn the whole thing off and start again at the beginning, okay?
Okay, so I'm gonna keep you off of this one and then try back with you at the next application. Okay, Diane?
Okay.
All right. So, Karen,
Yes.
Carrie's recused. Diane's having trouble with her computer. So your board on this will be Val, John
I'm here.
McLaughlin.
Sorry, I'm
What?
here. Thank
Oh,
you.
Abby. Oh, no, Abby joined us. Okay, so that's
I'm
good. You
so
have a
sorry.
five-
I couldn't get on either. I couldn't
Okay,
find
it's good. It's fine. Okay, so your board will be Val, John McLaughlin, Abby Camp, and Stephen Welch and Carrie. Did I do too many? I did.
Carrie's recused.
Oh, that's right. Carrie's recused. Thank you, Val. Thanks for chairing the meeting. Okay, so Karen, are you ready?
I am ready. Okay, so it's a rooftop solar,
Uh-huh.
and it's an existing structure, and they're adding an addition on to the back. There are panels on the southwest and southeast portions, which both face the back of the house. Nothing can be seen from Sesapana, and nothing can be seen from the back because it's a heavily wooded area. The trails, yes.
Karen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but are you doing your YouTube feed in the background?
I don't think so.
Somebody is, and they need to mute if they are.
Yeah,
Somebody's watching the
Hold on.
YouTube and we got a feedback, and I don't like that.
I know. Wait, is this better? No.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. We got to get rid of that.
I don't see, no, I've got nothing on. Wait, am I better now?
Yeah, you're better now. There was an echo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard that too. Do you want me to start again?
please.
No.
Okay, in a nutshell, you cannot, the panels are on the back of the house, two different planes. Yes, so there you have it. That's good right there. It's a charcoal black asphalt roofs, new roofs going on. They're going on the existing structure and the addition. There's no possible way to see them from Sesapana Road. And the building has heavily wooded space behind it. The trails that are in that are way far away from this house. So there's no view. The woods are very tall.
Can
I
we,
don't
do you have a locus plan?
Yes, up a little higher. There.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's good. Right. Okay, good. All right.
I'm pretty good with this, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thanks. Let's see, Val, you're on this, right?
Yep. I think this is a good application for solar.
All right, sounds
Not on
good.
the front.
It's not on the front, correct.
Yep.
Great, thank you. Stephen?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, meets our guidelines, no concerns.
Groovy. John McLaughlin? John?
I'm here.
Yeah, are you okay with this solar array?
In favor of what?
Are you okay with this? Because it seems like everyone else is, and I'd like to take it to a vote if you don't mind.
Okay, fine.
All right, so can somebody make a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, Abby, thanks for that. On Abby's motion to approve as submitted, Stephen,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
John,
Yes.
All right, are you in favor of the motion?
Well, I had to straighten something up. What was the motion?
The motion is to approve as submitted.
Have we started on this already?
Yes, we're in the middle of a motion, John.
Is this number one?
Yes.
That's 30 Meadow Drive?
No.
It's 26 Sesapana. We're on the new business.
Yeah, but it's-
John, are you in favor of the solar array? John?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, Abby, you're in favor of your motion?
Absolutely.
And I am too. So that motion carries. Thank you, Karen. Next
Thank
up,
you.
Sconset Gardner. Is Marty on?
Marty's not on, but I'm on. Caroline
Oh,
Balusters.
okay. Hi. Yes. So it says add window. Now, before we get going on this, let me establish your board for you. So,
Thank you.
Diane, are you up and running at this point?
Let me check here just a minute.
No, hang on, John. Diane, are you up and running?
No, wait a minute.
No, John, I'm asking that of Diane.
Am
And
I up
same
and
to-
running? No, I'm not.
No.
I got the picture there.
Okay, Diane is not up and running. So that means that it's going to be Val, John, Abby, Carrie, and myself. Okay.
Is
Your
this
name is-
Hubbard Avenue?
What, John?
Is this Hubbard Avenue?
Yes.
Yes. 66 Hulbert Avenue.
All right, I think I'm up and running. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Now, your name is Caroline, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about
Do
all
you
of
hear
that.
me?
No,
Ray,
no, you're getting feedback. Diane, you're not on this. We got to move
I know,
forward.
I just am trying to say, do you hear me?
Yeah, but you're in an echo chamber.
I don't know why.
I got to get you off of this, Diane. You're not on this. So, Caroline, can you move forward, please?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Caroline.
Oh, thank you. This is Marty is not able to be on right at this particular moment. So this is to request an extension of 2 windows on the second floor, have a third window added because we've moved this house from across the street, and that would allow us to have a view of the water, which we would like. It would be the same exact window as what is there now.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you will see fit to approve it.
So it's just that one window.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, Ray. There's one other part of Marty's application, which is a different part of the house. It's to move the outdoor shower onto the deck since the house has been raised up to be in the flood zone.
Okay, does that show up on these drawings?
Marty told me that it was here, and
Okay.
I don't know if
Hopefully
it is.
it's circled in red. That helps us.
Yes.
Who's got the cursor? Holly, is that you?
No,
Oh,
Mr. Chair, that's
it's me.
Kadeem.
Kadeem, let's go down to the elevations, please.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I believe the shower was actually on one of the previous applications that was before the commission last week.
Oh,
I
thank you.
believe you're correct.
So
So
we're not-
this application before you is just for the window.
Okay, good. So now, do we have HSAB concerns on this?
HSAB didn't look at this particular application, only the last 2. So
Okay.
no, sir.
All right, then I'm going to cut straight to the board. Who would like to start?
I will.
Thanks, Val.
I think this is perfectly fine. It's not a historic house. It's getting recycled from across the street, which is great.
Gotta love that. Okay, all right, sounds good. Abby?
Could we see I just want to see what the rest of the house looks like. Could I see the other elevations?
Yeah,
please?
everything's good.
Abby, we don't actually have the other elevation. We do have these photos.
Okay, just let me look at the photos. I just want to see if it relates somehow. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, it's gonna be an anomaly, but yeah, I'm okay with it.
Thank you. Stephen? Stephen?
Yep, sorry, Mr. Chair. I'm okay with it.
Okay. John?
Aye,
John,
aye.
you're okay. Okay, so can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thanks, Val. On that motion, Stephen?
Aye.
Abby?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Val?
Aye.
Ray? Aye. Okay, that passes. Okay, moving along to 11 Beach Street.
Mr. Chairman, is it possible to look at the application that we weren't able to get to last week for the outdoor shower? We're trying to get the deck built.
Well, it's not on our agenda, unfortunately. I don't know where it is.
I believe one of the members said it was from last week.
Yeah, but it's not here for us to look at.
I see.
I don't
It was-
know. What?
Mr. Chair, that was included in the previous application that you already
That's what
looked
I
at,
thought.
not the
It's
one-
already approved.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Thank you
So,
very much,
you're good.
Chair.
How about
Thank
that?
you.
It's already approved. Fantastic. Okay, good night. Good
Night.
afternoon. Bye. Okay, 11 Beach Street.
Right, I'm here with the other Linda Gilbert for this one.
Okay, let's go. Linda W, let's see.
And Linda G.
Understood, but I want to establish the board because it's a little complicated. Diane, are you with us now?
I hope so. Do you hear me?
I do, and I hear you without an echo, which is wonderful. Okay, so you're in, Val, John, Abby, myself. So it's the regular board on this one. Okay, let's move. Let's go.
In a nutshell, Ray,
Hmm.
Linda bought this property, as everybody knows, it has gone native. You can see to the left where you approved the other house that was taken away and the new one's going in. You can see the foundation starting on the left.
Uh-huh.
And she hired somebody to do this work, and he went ahead and did work without permits. So now we're undertaking getting permits. The building department's working with Linda very, very well. They've been out there. The plumbing and wiring guys have been out there. What happened to that front window? It was a 24 light single window that was leaking. He took it out and put in 24 lights, but in two double hungs.
Mhm.
The door in the back, I've seen the door, it's inside. I think I sent a picture of it to Holly over the weekend.
Yeah, Holly has everything.
I believe it's a standard 6-panel. Oh no, it's got the same
9
lights,
light.
but it's a slightly different configuration. It's got a longer light. So those are the two things that he did that's on the outside that the HTC had not seen before.
So the door hasn't, hi, this is Linda. The door hasn't been replaced. It's inside. So I put in an application to be approved and get a permit for that. I had provided the, window and door schedule to Holly with the photos. And so the door has 6 light, it's mahogany. The door that's currently in is fiberglass. And so we wanted to go with something a little bit better. And the error on my part was I ordered the window with Marine Home. I had double checked. I let the person at Marine Home know I was in Codfish Park. He communicated with my contractor that was hired at the time. And I had ordered it, as Miss Williams said, the window was leaking, and I live in Rhode Island. And so I didn't feel comfortable with water pouring in, but he was supposed to be pulling all the permits. And on, when did he do it? On January 11th, he replaced the window without pulling a permit. And then Mr. Marash had come to our house on, I'm jumping ahead, January 15th, and put a stop to everything. So I came out to the island the following week and went to the building office and submitted everything and attended the HSAP meeting last Monday. And they had recommended putting, because it's an SDL and not a TDL, all the words I'm learning new or abbreviations, they had recommended putting a storm window over the picture window because it's our bedroom window, and the previous window was not the original, but very, very old, and it didn't open. And since it's our bedroom window, we would like for windows to be open. And so I had gone through Codfish Park and I looked at 34 Codfish Park Road, and we kind of did that window, but I didn't realize they have an SDL, but I ordered an SDL. And so that was on my error. I didn't even know SDL, what it was. Or
So the long and short of this is that their recommendation, and we'll get Holly to corroborate this, is just to put storm windows on top of these windows in the same way that the windows that I'm looking at in the photograph have storm windows on them, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, these windows right now, Ray, don't have storms on them because we didn't want to
see
touch
that,
anything since then. But the one thing I want you to look at is the site plan. You can't tell that these are SDLs because they're a good 30 feet off the traveled way. So if you go back
Okay.
up to the site plan, because it may make no difference to see how far this is off the
I
traveled
do.
way. It's almost 30 feet off the actual roadway.
Okay.
So it may not be able to be seen as TDL or SDL because she's going to have air conditioning in there, so she wouldn't need a storm window. But it's up to you
Well,
guys.
let's
but
see
you
what the
can't
pleasure
tell.
of the board is, Linda. Now, okay, Holly, do you have anything further to say?
That's pretty much sums it up. Fortunately, for this 1920s cottage gone native, the poor owners were led astray by the contractor. Yes, SCOMSA
those
advisory
contractors.
recommended doing a triple track with the screen over it. You know, it's unfortunate that we've gone from a pane, 24 pane window to a 2 double hung, but I don't see any concerns with that. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Hey, one thing, so if we stay on this photograph just for a second, I do have a question. So the other issue was the door. Now I do notice that the former door had a screen door on top of it because I'm looking at the details of that door that went in, and it's got those sort of raised moldings and so forth that indicate that it's a fiberglass door. Are you planning on putting a storm door on that?
No, we didn't put that, to correct. We didn't put the fiberglass door in. That's the door that we bought the house with. We're asking to replace it with.
Why was that circled?
It shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm replacing the door. So I asked for permission to be able to, so we didn't get in trouble for that yet. We're asking for permission for a mahogany door to be put in. And I think, Holly, there may be a photo of the new door.
Look, if all we're talking about is the window, that's fine. But now I want to open it up to the board, okay?
I didn't get in trouble yet for
Chair,
that.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, her application is to replace that door as well, a 6-light mahogany door. Kadeem, I emailed it to you. My apologies, it's not in the
6-light
packet.
mahogany door.
Yeah.
Which is certainly an improvement over a fiberglass.
Yeah,
door.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chair, could I start?
Okay, yeah, so Abby, you go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's actually an improvement. Even though it's a mistake, I think it looks better than the previous, and mahogany door is so much better than fiberglass. So I think it's fine. I'm fine with it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks
With
a
or
lot.
without
Abby.
a screen, Mr. Chairman, is that with or
Okay,
without the
just
storm?
Linda, wait. Diane.
I don't mind the door. The picture I've got it's a 9-light, but you want to put in a 6-light. I understand.
No, six panel.
Oh, 6 panel.
It's going to be an all wood door, no glass.
No, it's going to be, it has
There
glass.
is glass.
Oh, I heard you say 6 panel.
No, that was
6
before.
light.
6 light.
It's a 6-light door, but they're longer. So currently the fiberglass is 9. The 6 is just about the same size. So it's still almost the same dimensions regarding light.
Oh boy, now I'm thoroughly confused because 6 light.
Show the picture if you can find the picture, Holly.
We'll stop interrupting everybody, just one at a time.
If I could finish, that would be good.
Well, Diane, yes, but respectfully, I want to see what this door is. I thought it was a 6-panel door.
No,
where is the new door? I want to see the new door.
Hold on, I've got a picture of it. Hold on.
Linda, you'll want to email it to me.
I'll email it to Kadeem. I just have to backtrack and find it.
Yeah, how are we supposed, like we're holding this meeting
This
up
is
because we don't have
wasting
the
time.
information.
Well, we sent it in. I just don't know where it went when it went in.
It wasn't all in one email.
So now
that's
we're
why.
going to wait for somebody to email somebody else a picture of a door.
Hold on. It was already put into the board. We just don't know where it went when it went into the HDC.
I had sent, I think on Monday of the 25th or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was over a week ago.
Yeah, I had sent it to Holly, so it may be in her email of the actual door. If not, I can share my screen and bring it up for you guys.
Why can't we replace it with a mahogany 9-light door like that is there, only it's mahogany rather than fiberglass?
Well, that's a really good question, Diane.
She already has the
That's-
door. Hold on.
I don't care what she already has. We're trying to do what we think is correct, and I think that the 9-light mahogany door would be good. The other thing I would like to know is why do we have to have SDLs when they make TDLs, and this is in the old historic district of Wisconsin, whether it's 30 feet back or not.
Well, I'm not sure you were able to hear the original presentation, but she didn't do it. The guy did it.
I know she didn't do it, but the guy did it, but it's done.
When do we get to see the door?
He should have it now.
I don't, still waiting.
If we can-
Mr. Chair,
Hold for review.
What?
I emailed it to Kadeem.
Holly, I opened the email you sent me. This is the only document in there.
What is?
I motion to hold this for all the
Yeah,
information.
thanks.
Thank
All
you.
right, yeah, let's get complete
Windows just-
information. So Val has motion to hold this for complete information. On that motion, Diane.
Mr. Chairman,
Aye.
Diane, John. John, on the motion.
I'm on this, right?
Yes, but the motion is to hold for complete information, yes or
I
no?
know. But I didn't get a chance to speak yet.
No, we're holding for more information, John.
For the door or for the window?
You don't
Because
have
we
all
have
the
all the,
information.
Right,
but for
I
the
know
window
it.
we do.
What?
For the window, we have all the information.
No, no.
It's two different things.
No, it's not. It's being submitted as a package.
Mr. Chairman, my problem is, bring up the application, please.
Kadeem should have it now.
You guys tell me what to do. I got emails from
Okay.
by email.
Okay, listen,
Yes.
folks, Robert's rule says if there's a motion made, that I entertain the motion. The motion is on the table. The motion is to hold for complete information. So that
Kadeem
is the
has it
motion.
now.
Now, no, the motion has already been made. Diane,
Aye.
John,
He doesn't
on the
know.
motion, John, please.
What is the motion?
The motion is to hold for complete information.
Aye.
Thank you. Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. That motion carries. Now let's move it along. Okay, next up, workshop APD. God
I am
help
here,
you if you
Mr.
don't have all
Chair.
the information.
God help me, I am fairly confident I have a complete application.
Okay, now, so you, again, will have the regular board on this application, or these applications, I should say.
Sounds good. Kadeem, if you want to just stay right on that image for a second, it'd be very helpful. So just want to, this is 36 Washing Pond Road. It is at the end of Washing Pond Road where the pavement ends and turns onto the sand access road to go out to the beach there, which you can see to the left of the red box.
Black Tower Beach.
Yep, you got it. And we are creating a very pavilion-like compound where the structures appear to have been developed over time. We have a lot of one-story elements, some two-story elements. The primary visibility for all of the structures is really to the north, obviously from the beach, and to the west. There will be virtually no visibility on the south elevation and on the east elevation because it abuts the new larger house that's going up there now and is framed, and I'm sure you'll all go for a view and you'll be able to see that. Thank you, Kadeem. That's helpful. probably go to the main house now. Or if you want to see the the images of. So it's an interesting scenario that the driveway access for this will occur at the intersection of the sand and blacktop because of where the property line sits. But beyond that, it's a windy driveway. We're going to preserve a lot of this existing vegetation along the street and the beach access for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So primary house is Quaker gray trim, black sash windows, to be custom, either Riley windows or hybrid of LePage. One thing of note, Kadeem, if you could just go back up to the site plan for me. We have decided since submitting this application that everything is going to slide back to the south 50 feet, and we are no longer going to propose any construction within the 50 to 100 foot Concom lines that you see there.
So basically, sorry to interrupt, but you're going to take everything that we're looking at and pull it outside of the 100, right?
Exactly right. Everything is just going to the right 50 feet.
Okay,
Yep,
everybody understand that? So we're looking at a site plan that doesn't really reflect the reality, which is going to be that everything will be out away from the right-hand most red line, which is the 100-foot wetland setback. Okay, continue. Yep. Thanks.
Correct. Okay, so if you want to go down, Kadeem, to the elevations, we've got a few perspectives here. We showed our house against the
in the background.
Yeah. Hey, whoever is talking away, not part of this hearing, please mute. Thank you. Okay.
So this page provides you a summary of what a lot of the structures look like on site. As you, on the upper left, it's as you approach from the driveway. The one to the right of that is sort of the entry side of the house. The bottom two are more looking from the water, and from the west, if I was coming up that beach axis, the guest house is the one on the lower right. The site section below that shows our new proposed structure against the home that is all framed up on 34 Washing Pond, which this property was subdivided from. And then the bottom site section gives you a view of what the project looks like facing due west, portions of which, primarily the main house, will be visible from the public way there where folks access the beach. So if you want to scroll down, Kadeem, go to the flat elevations. Again, just gray trim, black sash windows, where it essentially created somewhat of an understated entry. The idea is if this was an old sort of structure here, we then added a wart onto it, sort of two separate pieces, one that runs parallel to the beach, one perpendicular. Coming down the west elevation, which is one of the most visible elevations, you can see how the 1-story mass connects into the 1.5-story mass, partial 2-story mass. Only a very small section of the house is at that height. We've sort of tried to create a little bit more of a playful window configuration, as if it was really an old world house that was sort of added onto over time and sort of had some irregular aspects to it. Go down, Kadeem, please. This is the north elevation on the top that faces the water. Again, though, we would be 100 feet back from the bluff with the topography and undulation there. I think much of the ground floor from the beach would not be that visible. Obviously, from the water, it would. And then the eastern elevation, the one below that, is the one that faces the adjacent property, which when we ultimately come in with landscaping, we'll have heavily planting and we'll have virtually no visibility. I have accented the sort of 1-story little warts popping off on all 3 elevations with natural horizontal shiplap that you can see primarily on this bottom east elevation right there, Kadeem, yes, and then also the entry piece that sort of comes off as well. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you. Looks like you got everything in place there. Wow. Okay. No HSAB or anything on this, so I suppose we go straight to the board. Who would like to begin? Was that you, Diane?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
I have some problems with it. What is the window on the east elevation? That long 2, 4, 6, 8 paned window? Is that a window?
Yes, that's
Appears
a
to
window,
be.
Diane. Yes, it's in the staircase, but it's going to be up against some trees and the neighbor, so I didn't feel it would be that visible.
Okay, one thing I noticed on all the elevations is the amount of mulled windows you have. And I'd like to see some of them divided. Up on the north elevation, you have 3 doors up on the second floor, and underneath it you have 4. In the middle, you have those wide paned windows. And I believe the north elevation will be seen from the water and probably from the beach to the second floor, not the first floor. And if we go back to the other top the west elevation, the whole little left wing is mulled windows, 3 over trees. I would like to see that reduced the amount of fenestration in the house, which I understand the position that it's in, but it's still a lot. And the south elevation, is that going to be your front door?
Correct, Diane. Yes. Yes.
That's going to be over to the right with the shed dormer over it, and that one single window above?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, on my thing, I can't see the very top. Is there some reason you only have one window over the front door?
Just a design approach. I figured there's virtually no visibility of this elevation, and I'm trying to create a sort of an asymmetrical condition on the interior and from the exterior as well.
Okay, I know what you said you were trying to do. The other thing I would like to just mention, I think that gray with black is not appropriate here. Gray with black sort of is a more modern coloring, and if you're trying to fit this in so it's sort of a little building, I think you would change to another color combination than the black windows. I think it will make them stand out much more, like particularly on that west elevation. You have, I don't know what the ratio is, but it just seems like a lot of windows, and I would like to see them reduced. And on the south elevation, which you think we won't see, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just ask you so I know. Underneath the 3 little dormers on the left-hand side, you have an outside chimney, that's fine. And then you have 3 windows. The 2 outside windows are narrow, and the center window, is that a little bay, or is that?
It is not a bay, Diane. It's all flush to the wall. It's not a bay window though.
Okay, but you say that's going to be hard to see. It's primarily the elevation. If we could go down one, it's the west elevation that I would like to see sort of re-fenestrated. I guess that's a good word. Okay, for now, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diane. How about you, Val?
I appreciate the scale, and I would go along with a little bit of window reduction here and there, especially on the sides you can see.
Like the north and the west?
I don't think north is the visible one.
North is the one facing the sound.
Oh.
I mean,
I
I
don't think you can see the first floor.
According to the front page, okay, it's a little confusing by that. I thought north was up on the site plan, but it's not. It's to the left.
Yeah, it's not, Val. Sorry, it's to the left, so we could make it larger.
All right, so north is that one. So west and south, I think, really. North is
so south faces Washing Pond Road, kind of sort. West faces Black Tower Beach. North faces the Sound.
Right.
And east faces the big house that's being built now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good with the massing. I think just some changes in the window arrangement that you can see.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, Val. John,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
you're welcome.
I have a first comment.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I come to this meeting to try to see what I'm looking at.
And you can't.
Whenever if you jack it up 3 notches on all applications, I'm happy. I can't read this.
You want it to go bigger, John?
I'm sorry?
You want it bigger?
One more, please.
There you go.
That's it, right? That's close enough right there. Yes. I like to get them all that way so that I don't have to keep asking. All right. Whoever's responsible for it, you're the chairman, tell them to change it. Thank you. As far as the comments on this structure here,
yeah,
I'll say one thing. Over the front door, the window should be moved to the center. It looks awkward there outside. Okay. I think 3 small dormers like that are unattached to the house. It doesn't look good there to have 3 of them. Might as well make that a solid dormer, not 3 singles. Thank you.
All right, John. Thank you. Abigail.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with everything that's been said, and I will reiterate. I think that the way I see this lot is that it's very close to the beach and beaches we love, and I think the black sash, as we see it peeking through the black pines as you're going to the beach, I think it's going to be too harsh. I think all gray might be more subtle. I'm in general about this whole concept. I'm worried about it being too many large buildings on the site. So I'm just, I wish everything were scaled down even more. So it's right there on the dunes, and I think it should be as subtle as possible. And those are my first comments.
Okay. Well said. In fact, I think what I'm going to say is I basically am in line with the comments that everyone has made so far. So there you go.
Can I say a few things, Mr. Chair, or no?
Sorry?
Can I just add a few things just on this notion of scale? That actually, this is not a very large house at all. We only have 4.
I want to be clear on this, okay, Andrew?
Yep.
Abby wasn't.
I'll move on.
Abby wasn't necessarily suggesting that this house was overscaled. She was saying that like the whole complex altogether was overscaled. I believe that's what she was saying.
And what I was just going to add is that it's actually only 4,000 square feet of ground cover spread out. It's not, nothing is that big.
So it's just
maybe that's a relative term. Maybe that's a relative term.
I know. 4,000 is modest.
The problem is, if I can do a rebuttal, is that we see these things individually. This is before us now, but we're coming up with a second dwelling. There's going to be a cabana, probably, I don't know, a garage. I'm just thinking generally about the whole site, and I know exactly where it is. It's my favorite beach, and I don't want to look over and see a mass of rooftops. So I think you have to be very sensitive here.
I appreciate that, and I really tried hard to not create the big sort of 2-story box. I tried to respond to old world Nantucket 1-story pieces broken apart, additive massing all over the place, separate little structures pulled back. So, I mean, that was really the vision of the whole project, to give it that. But anyway, comment appreciated, understood.
Okay.
May I ask one more question, please? I'm sorry.
You may, and then I'd like to have a motion. Go ahead, Diane.
What is the length of the left-hand structure with the 3 dormers and the chimney. What's the length of that
I think it's
roof?
46. I think it's 46, Diane.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Everything's under 50 by a few feet. I make sure of that.
That's
Oh.
good. Okay, so can I have a motion on this one?
Motion to hold for revisions.
Thank you, Abby. On Abby's motion, John.
Aye.
Thank you, Val.
Aye.
Thank you, Diane.
Aye.
Thank you, Diane and Abby.
Aye, aye.
Okay, and I'm in favor. That motion carries. Let's see, should we review the guest house?
Yes, I would appreciate that, please.
All right.
So the guest house is sitting to the southwest of the main house. It too is it has a 1-story mast to it, and then it has a 1.5-story mast to it. Again, broken by a gasket, if you will, or Val calls it a rat tunnel or something.
Tunnel. That's
I don't know. That's what she said.
A habit trail.
A habit trail. So I stand by this as being a fairly understated guest house, not a big box that is broken up into individual massings, so that visually from when you are walking through the beach, it feels as though it's more nestled into the landscape. These buildings all sort of step up and down grade wise a few feet. So trying to, just make it feel appropriately scaled on the site. So if you go down, Kadeem, to the elevations, the east elevation would have no visibility. This is facing the driveway and the neighbor, essentially. To the right is the north elevation, which would have very little visibility. If anything, it's going to be pretty much hidden by the house, but this far back from the beach, I don't think you'll see it. You might see it when you park your car going out to the public access there. But again, the scale, you can see how sort of secondary this is. And just so we all understand, ridge height is 23 feet 6, which I know you all like to make sure it's under 24-ish. So we tried hard to keep it down. Been listening a lot lately to these meetings. If you come down, again, the south elevation is, well, pretty simple, but you can't really see it. And then the west elevation will have some visibility, and we've sort of connected these two masses together with a pergola natural to weather.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Friends, who would like to start?
I will.
That was you, John, right?
I'm sorry?
That's John?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Could we go to the east elevation is facing what? Is that facing water?
No, that's facing the neighbor.
I'm sorry?
It's facing the neighbor. The water is to the north in this case, John. This is to the right of Black Tower Beach, at the end of Washing Pond Road.
Mm-hmm. I know it well.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So east faces the neighbor's house. North faces the water.
Now, it should be on here. Why it's not on here, I don't know.
What?
Northeast, south, or west.
Oh, I'm sure it's on there.
It's on here, John.
Kind of confusing. So north is actually to the left of the sheet, John.
Yes.
All right. Now I'm trying to figure this out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In that yellow box, there's a house right there. Drop it down. Right there. There's a house, and to the left of it is another building. What is that? A garage?
John, the building to the bottom of the orange bubble is a small little like wellness pavilion. It's like 12 feet by 12 feet with a gable roof and a barn door. Pretty it look like a shed. The building above the orange bubble is a single bay garage. Again, like one window in it with shiplap doors. And then the structure to the right is just a shed. So the three ancillary structures are, I mean, they're kind of idiot proof. There's nothing to them.
Okay.
They're just boxes.
Okay.
Okay, so John, does that answer your question?
Yes. Bring it right up. A couple more notches there. Very hard to read. You know, it's not me. My glasses are fine. I just got them. But
No, it's small.
All right, what elevation is it that has that large window right there?
That's east.
East. No visibility, John. Zero visibility on that elevation.
Let him continue.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead, John.
You see, it seems awkward there with all the other smaller windows. It's too large for that wall.
Okay.
In comparison. So I think something should be done there. Put another window upstairs, another window down, single. That's fine. Could we go to the north elevation?
There's the north elevation, John.
All right, there it says north. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. If it is visible, all right, 5 doors. 5 doors are intolerable for any house on Nantucket. I find trouble. You should drop a couple of those off, maybe. Go with 3. Could I have a west elevation, please?
There you go.
Okay, right. You should, I think the same on that is to go to no more than 3, not 4. Too much glass for that wall. That's enough. Thank you.
Okay, John. Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right. Thanks, Diane. Go ahead.
I would ask that some of the shed dormers be brought up tighter to their windows, or perhaps the 2 mulled windows out separated so it was stretched along, but on both sides of that elevation, the shed dormer extends a pretty good amount over from where it's opening. I want to ask you, Andrew, on your windows are 2/2s, which to me is that's a good shape, the size that you have. But your doors, the panels are so big. Can they be made with more panels, your sliding doors, rather than
go to 6 light, Diane? Go to 6 light on those instead of a 4 light?
Or yeah,
might help.
It
Mm-hmm.
would not take your eye right to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I truly appreciate. I'm not just bitching, but I appreciate the size and the shapes that you have. The stories and a half and the 1 stories. I think that would be good, and I hope you tuck it in and out of the sand there. But
that's the idea, Diane, is to do that exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but reduce some of your size of your fenestration and separate those mold windows. And I think that, at least for me, a lot of it would be approvable. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Diane. Val?
I appreciate the scale. I think for me, because I'm directionally challenged, it would be good if the floor plans were going in the same direction as they are on the site plan, because I think that's where I'm getting botched up at what side is what. But I agree with what's been said about some window changes. And I just wanted to point out, there's stone chimneys. So we probably should, I know there's a little picture of the stone, but if we could get a bigger.
Yeah, don't get hung up on that, Val. I think we're changing that anyway to some sort of brick, but understood. We'll get a better picture next time.
Massing, I think, is okay.
Okay. Thanks, Val. Abby?
Yeah, I'm still having trouble with the whole general concept of all these buildings. I absolutely adore, I would like to live in just even one of your houses. I think they're so beautifully done. I just don't want it to be inappropriate for the area. And I understand that you kept it down in height and all these things. I worry about the overdevelopment of this lot. And this is a pretty big second guest cottage, whatever you call it. And you know, half of that would be great. So I'm having trouble digesting the whole concept.
Okay.
In this area, in this site.
All right.
Millbrook Road, it would be great. But like,
Okay.
I'm a little shy about it. Thank
All
you.
right. All right, thanks, Abby. I really have nothing to add. I think this comment was made with respect to the main house, but it applies to the guest house and all the buildings for that matter. The black, I think might be a little bit much for that location, particularly given the number of windows. Black trim color, or black sash color is what I meant.
Understood.
Right.
Yeah. So that's that. Now, can we have a motion for revisions on the guest house?
Hold for revisions.
All right, so Diane has made a motion to hold the guest house for some revisions on that motion. Val?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Thank you. Abby?
Aye.
Great. Diane?
Aye.
And I'm in favor. That motion carries. Hey, now with knowing that our time is limited today, Andrew.
Right, it's fine. Let's hold them, and we can hold Elizabeth's application as well, because we're going to be making some revisions.
That's
So,
great.
Yep, so we're
Okay.
good.
So,
Make a motion
Andrew,
to track the gym, the shed, and the pool.
well, we're going to go the garage, the gym, the shed, and the pool.
And the
Okay,
pool.
all four of those.
Yeah, we'll track those.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Thank you for that motion. So the motion is to have the garage, gym, shed, and pool applications to track the house and the guest house. On Diane's motion, Val?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Thank you. Abby?
Aye.
Thank you, Diane.
Aye.
And I'm in favor. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Andrew. We'll
Thank you,
see
board.
next time. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so now we are to 5 Boyers Alley for a shed. Same board, I think.
No,
Oh,
I think Melanie might be on here, but I redrew it for her.
well, you should probably recuse, even if you're not representing, just because you're associated with the project.
Right.
Okay, so that's fine. Let's see, Carrie, I see you on the screen. Can you jump in on this one?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Again, I don't know if she's here, so I'll just give you the background.
Okay.
I was at HSAB when this came up, and then we conversed after. So it's been changed since the first HSAB meeting. I don't know if it's been seen again. Holly can tell us that. And they held it for better drawings and more information. So I put together this little package of the houses that are there, where it's going, a better site plan, and some dimensions and scale drawings. So hopefully you'll find it acceptable.
Okay, so let's see. Let's stay there for just a second. So existing cottage, existing house, so it's on the side there. Okay. Everybody see the aerial photo with the little red rectangle that indicates where it's going?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then now let's take a look at the elevation. So is the door elevation, the west elevation, the one that faces out to Boyers, or the other east elevation?
Hold on, because I got to blow it up on my screen.
Oh, east elevation and north have no fenestration or anything.
That faces the house. Yeah, the door.
The door faces back to the house. So what faces the parking area has no windows or doors in it, correct?
Oh, wait a second. I think
No.
the cardinal points are a little bit off.
Yes,
This is
Mr. Chair, that was
Melanie.
one thing they noted.
What, I'm sorry.
The
could you-
door faces the driveway.
Oh, okay. Fair
That's
enough.
Melanie.
Okay, hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Welcome
Hi.
to the
Thank
HTC,
you.
the most watched show on television, apparently. So the two sides that have no windows or doors are one faces back to the house and one faces the property line, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did everybody get that? Board members get that? And now, Holly, were you going to say anything about this one?
Yes, Mr. Chair, HSAB did take a look at these revised drawings on Monday. The design is good. We did talk about that the cardinal points were mislabeled. It wasn't clear, but they're fine with the design. But the application did still say 12 over 12. And as well as there was a question on whether or not it was actually 13 feet long or 15 feet long. And then there was a question about the fence, because it looks like the location of it is going to be where the existing fence is. So overall, they were fine with it, with those minor comments. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so Melanie or Val, can either one of you answer those questions that HSAB had about the fence, number one?
I'll leave that at Melanie. I don't know the answer to that. Is it behind the fence or connected to the fence?
So are you talking about the fence that runs along the property line or
No,
the
we're
fence that I
talking-
have in my front yard?
The one between your grass yard and your Shell Drive.
Yes,
looks-
the
it
fence
looks from the
will
aerial photo like-
adjoin the side of the house. I mean, the side of the shed. The fence will abut the side of the shed.
Okay, so if I'm opening up the door to your shed, I'm on the Shell Drive, right?
Correct.
And the fence is coming off of either side. So you're going to cut like a little opening in the fence and drop the shed in so that the fence is hitting on either side of your shed, correct?
Actually, the fence will just begin at the right side of the shed. No fence to the left of the shed.
To the right, meaning towards your cottage,
Correct.
as seen from Boyer's Alley.
Yeah. Myself, Kevin Walker. Can I have a vote?
Yeah, okay, we muted that. That's good. So that was the fence issue. What were the other things, Holly? Oh, the 12 over 12. It's actually as shown on your elevations, right? Window type?
Correct.
Okay, so that needs to be fixed on the application. And what was the third thing, Holly?
It was the size. One thing said
Oh,
13
right.
feet, the other one said 15.
What's the
clarify
answer?
that.
13, I think, is correct.
13 is correct. 117 total square feet.
13. Okay. What do we think, folks? I'm going to pick on somebody. Carrie?
I don't see any problem with it.
Okay. That's all right. Abby?
Could we just very slowly scroll through the drawings because it's a lot to sort of figure out.
Okay, so that elevation with the door in it is facing out to the driveway, the west. And the elevation with the windows is facing back to the house. And then, or the cottage, I should say. And then the north elevation faces the property line and the east elevation faces back to the house.
Can I see the site plan again then?
Yeah.
Okay, so the door faces into the property.
No, the door faces the Shell Drive.
Oh, I see. Shall-
You got it? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which,
I don't
by the
know.
way, excuse me for interrupting, but there's a north arrow in the upper left-hand corner. So really, the west elevation is really the north elevation.
It's northwest.
okay, it's more north than west according to that thing, but anyway. Abby?
So my own opinion is that I think doors, I don't know. I think I'd rather see it just a window on Boyer's Alley and the door looking into the property. Just because I think we made a mistake on Pleasant Street where they shifted the cottage around and now we're looking at the door and I think it looks awful. So I don't think we did that properly, and so I'd
Okay.
rather not see the door from Boyer's Ave. So that's my thought.
All right, thank you. Let's see, Carrie, Abby, Diane, yeah.
I agree with Abby. I think the door should face west or towards the house because it's not a garage, it's just a shed. So I think the window going out to the Shell Drive, unless it's going to be used for something specific, I would just like to see that changed. And otherwise, I have no problem with it.
Okay, thanks. John?
No comment, Mr. Chairman.
You said no comment? So I really don't have a big problem with the door facing, and I'm going to call it north, but the way that you're showing it. But two people in the on the board do. So what is your willingness to move the door to the west elevation, the long elevation, and flip the door in the window?
Would it be possible instead to change the wall that has two windows? Because due to some landscaping that I have, it's really not functional to access the shed from the interior yard side.
That's right. If there's a point, to me, if it's the point to have the door going out to the west, it's a service entrance and it's okay. I didn't know whether it was being used as a shed or certainly not a garage. So
let me make sure that, Diane, so are you suggesting that you'd be okay with it the way it is?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, well, then I think we could move this forward then. Thank you for clarifying that. So as I said before, I'm okay with this submission as is. So can we have a motion?
The motion to approve is submitted.
Okay, so Diane has made that motion. I'll start with you, Abby.
If it were a storm, like a V-groove door, like an old fashioned, I would be in favor, but with windows in it, no. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Abby. John?
Aye.
That was an aye you're in favor of, I believe. Okay, thank you. Carrie?
Aye.
All right, and Diane? On your
Aye.
motion? And I'm in favor, so that motion carries 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Thank you. All right, so now we're on to old business. And we're 10 after, so we have 20 minutes left for all of you who are waiting patiently. So we're going to be able to get to a couple of these applications, not an awful lot. So let's start with 30 Meadowview, pool hardscaping. Ethan, there you are, good. Board on this. Yeah, it's the regular board. Okay, so let's go.
So I think it was held mostly last time for a little bit more information as to what's happening with the site in the pool, and then some additional information on materials. So this is the general site plan. The cottage to the northwest has already been approved, and the house is existing. So essentially, this is for, and we've also actually gotten approved as part of the house application, the grade work that happened to the big side yard on the west, or I'm sorry, on the east side. So this is really just focusing on the pool and the hardscaping. And the next sheet should be a little bit more illustrative. Oh, that's just photos. Again, this is additional kind of neighborhood context and views. That's the existing house. And then here's the sections through the site, kind of showing what's going on. So that's from the east yard. And then this is through the where the pool would be. So the dashed line is the existing grade, and then it shows how it's being modified for the pool.
Okay.
And then the next page should be some additional information on materials. And that's the application.
All right. Thanks.
Could I go, Mr. Chair, because I
You
have to let the
certainly-
puppies in.
Certainly
And
can.
I'm okay with the presented. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thanks. Diane.
Yeah, all I was wondering about was the wall. Are you holding back land there? Why do we need such a tall wall?
So the wall, we were initially going for about 4 feet for kind of more of a barrier. This will have an automatic pool cover, so we don't need it from a barrier standpoint. It wound up being about 30 to 36 inches in actuality once we got done with the grades. But there will be an infinity edge kind of proposed on that east side of the pool, and then those granite steps on either side of that infinity edge leading up to a deck against the house, and then a turf or grass patio to the north of the pool.
So you need the wall there for the infinity edge of the pool. Is that what
Correct?
you're
So
saying?
one of the goals
Okay.
as part of the previous house application was to really flatten that east yard.
Ethan, hang on.
Sure, I'm sorry.
Diane, go ahead.
No, that's all. I just wanted to know. It's the picture of 2 walls, and they're fairly sizable. I just wanted to make sure we knew what they were doing. If one's the infinity wall, I understand, because then the water leaks over and you got the moat and all that stuff.
That's right.
I just, so not seeing a site plan right now. I don't know how close it is to Meadowview or if it's tucked in behind.
Well, we can look at a locus. There's a locus plan here. Okay, so if we go, yeah, let's zoom into that guy. There you go. Okay, see that?
Yeah. So it's right there at the curve coming down from Pondview and right there.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's hard to see in the back anyway then, because the other next house is Noni Slavitz, and that's hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Diane. Val? Oh, yeah, Val, you're on this, right?
Yep, I do think you're gonna see it from the side. And I don't really understand the retaining, so I'm not gonna make any comments about that.
What is it that you don't understand about the retainage?
I'm not what it's really doing, but that's okay. I mean, if you guys understand it, then I'm good with it.
I would only reference, I think that the document that Ethan's given us that would be most helpful would be that section that shows the existing grade with the new section through the pool.
Yeah.
You know, the grade is sloping away and he's just essentially bringing the pool out, which obviously needs to be level. And at the end, he's creating an infinity edge at the end of the house, and that's the way it's dropping off. I'm not sure that necessarily answers your question.
What's the wall on
It
those?
just looks like
Go on.
Go ahead, Val.
it just looks like the one on the east. The first one that's sort of attached to the house is big. It just looks tall, like it's 5 feet or.
So yeah, I think that if I may, Mr. Chair, if we could scroll back to the section, Kadeem, that might show it a little bit better. That one wall, correct, against the house is a little bit taller, just to provide you can see a person, sort of a scale behind it. It's a little bit taller above the deck. Instead of having a railing there, we're just proposing a wall of that same stone.
Oh, well, so to Val's point, like, that is a tall wall, but it's a tall wall because you're using it as like a parapet. So
that's correct.
Val, would you feel more comfortable if that went from stone to, like a railing? Wood?
Not necessarily. I just didn't understand when I go to the site plan, because I have it blown up on my computer while we're looking at it.
Yeah.
Where, Ethan, is that wall that you're showing right there on this site plan?
Okay, if we scroll down, it's right actually where there's a little arrow tag or a dot tag right there by those chaise lounges. So there will be planting in front of it. Move to the right, please. Cursor to the right further.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Now down. Yep.
There you go, right
there.
there. Yep.
To where? Show me again. Okay, so there's stuff in front of it.
Correct. That's also where there's existing HVAC compressors that we're going to be putting a big planting bed around.
Okay.
You good?
And yeah, that
Okay.
explains what's
Great.
going on
Well,
then.
I'm happy. John.
Thank you.
Yeah. John.
I'm all in favor of what I'm looking at.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I think I got everybody. Abby was good.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. if you
Good.
want.
Diane, you were good. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. We can motion for approval, I think, on this one.
Okay, so moved.
All right, so Abby's made a motion to approve as submitted on that motion. Val,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
thank you. Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Sorry, yeah, aye.
okay, good, and I'm in favor, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you
Next
very
up,
much.
14 Lowell Place. Board members.
When do we end today, Mr. Chair?
Did you say when?
Yeah, what time?
2:30.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
I've sort of kind of, I think that's a good policy to quit it at 2:30. I mean, we spend almost 5 hours on Tuesdays. So an hour and a half is enough on a Thursday.
I'm with you.
I'm with me too. Besides, I got to be somewhere after 2:30. Okay, so this is 4 people: Stephen, Val, Diane, and myself. Okay, Matthew.
I'm here, Mr. Chair.
All right.
Did we lose a board member?
I'm
trying to think.
I'm trying to think too, but I have a feeling that you were down to a 4-person board, which is, kind of unfortunate with a project of this scope.
I'm just trying to get, I didn't realize I had a 4-person board. I thought I had, anyways.
Who else? Holly, are you looking at the minutes or anything like that? Be worth.
I do not have the minutes before me. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I do, I
You
think.
do?
Thanks, Val.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah,
Bear
my
with me. I'm just
recollection is
blowing
it's
them up a little.
somewhere you lost somebody.
The last time it was heard, was it not January 19th? That's the minutes I'm looking at attached to
Yeah,
this
that sounds right.
package.
That was.
It was Paul Coombs, Oliver Welch.
Yeah.
Now, prior to that, maybe there was somebody else, but I don't have the minutes before that.
Okay. Well, we're really trying to hoping to, push this over the finish line. So,
Hey, Matt,
yes.
just a word of advice to you. Because obviously we have a lot of applications and stuff, we can't kind of track everything. If you have an application where one person is not sitting and it's an important application like this, you should request to have somebody mulling back in. Because if they miss, one, it's fine. If they miss more than one, it's not.
No, I totally, yeah, and I totally, that's why it kind of caught me off guard that there's a 4-person board.
But so I'm going to gather that we should just proceed with the 4 people that we had the last time.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I hope I've addressed a lot of the concerns that the other board members have. So I'd be happy to proceed. And I know it's been a long day. And I also wanted to say thanks. I know how much work and time all of you put in, and I'm usually watching. So it's sometimes a thankless job. So just thanks for doing all you do. It's important work, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you.
I learned this morning, Matt, that I have people that tune in at 3:00 in the morning just to watch our show.
You should start charging.
I know.
Advertising.
We're
Okay, so
go on cable. Well, we are on cable. Okay, so let's see,
Mr.
Matt.
Chairman?
Yes.
My name's Jeff Marsh. I live at 10 Lowell Place, and I'd like to make some comments at some point.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I know that there's probably a number of people that want to speak on this, and we don't have a huge amount of time. So what I want Matt to do is quickly review any revisions that he may have made. And then I'm going to hear from Holly if she has any comments, and then I will open it up to any people that want to speak on the application, either for or against. Okay, so Matt, go.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I guess starting on the front elevation, and I've got my PDFs, which is the east, we've actually changed the roof pitch down to a 9 pitch, which actually dropped the overall height down by an additional 1 foot 3 inches. And so the overall ridge height at this point is 25.7. Again, we started off much taller, steeper roof pitch, which I prefer, but at this point we're 25 feet 7, which I think is completely in line with the scale of the neighborhood. Also, we changed the front door to a simple 2-panel. I think, Val, that was something that you had specifically requested. We previously had, it was a 9-light, and you asked us to make it, to remove the glass. It was a bit suburban, so we've omitted that as well. Going to the other elevations, on the south elevation, we changed the rear, it's the smallest additive mass, which is the master bathroom. We changed that roof line to a hip. Again, not sure how visible this whole second section of the building is, but thought that that might be kind of a smoother terminus, if you will, to the rear L. We also, it's kind of a smaller change, but we did change the second floor balusters to that single deck on the second floor. It was previously a solid shingled rail. We thought that where we had changed a lot of the other exterior trim details, specifically with the gutter returns and a more traditional in-town detail, that we went with an open baluster on that elevation. So we thought that was another change. Again, I just want to reiterate that we intentionally made the rear section of this house 1 story, so that it wasn't this a kind of larger scaled structure. We did start off with a different vernacular. We've changed that vernacular completely to make it more traditional. And I just want to reiterate that this was part of our intention to make the rear section of this structure 1 story, so that it wasn't visible really from any particular way. I know that there are some neighbors that have chimed in and offered their opinion about this project from Woodbury. I would just remind everybody, and anybody who lives here knows, that Woodbury is a very dense development. It has a lot of structures with high ground cover percentages. A lot of houses, the standard house, I would say the average is in the 30-foot range with dormers and roof walks. And so, although these two neighborhoods abut each other, I don't think that they occupy the same space. And so I think that if somebody's in Woodbury and they're offering their perspective, it just seems counterintuitive to me slightly that they're offering perspective from a taller, denser neighborhood.
Matt, we'll take that into consideration.
Sure.
I think that's something we discussed. But are there any other revisions that you want to make us?
That is it. The one final one I would offer is just on that south elevation here, is if we have that gable roof over the mudroom door, if at some point after the submission, I thought that could also be changed to a hip if the board felt that was appropriate. So look forward to the board's comments. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Holly, do we have anything further on this one?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I got HSAB comments from Monday, as well as there was a letter from an abutter that you all received, as well as HSAB received. And we also received comments from the actual property owners, which were forwarded to you all as well. HSAB comments on this dwelling: the doors are too tall, 7 foot 6 inches, and shed dormer is too steep, 7'12". This building is too tall and too long and is not in scale with the rest of the neighborhood. Heights needs to be reduced considerably. Approving a building of a scale would be turning point for the street, enabling further large-scale buildings on a street of modest bungalows. Architect might consider an L-shaped building wrapping around the pool. This would bring the front door into view at the end of the driveway and allow the garage to be placed behind the existing house to the north, where the doors will not be visible from Lowell Place. It would also reduce the overall length. I don't know if you want me to read the comments in from the abutters and the owners as well.
Well, everyone received a copy of those via email. And we also have some of the same people wanting to speak in person after
Yes, sir.
you, Holly. So, and we are kind of running out of time. So I'm going to now listen to.
Mr. Chair, could I just ask Holly if it's possible to scroll down? Because we did submit a couple of just perspectives that I think might be helpful.
Okay, good to look at.
Running the show.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I know there's a few people at least that want to speak on this. Could you unmute, hopefully one at a time if that's possible, announce yourself and then we'll hear your comments.
Hi, I'll start. I'm Jeff Marsh. We own the house at 10 Lowell, 2 up from this site. Our house was built in 1928, and it's very similar to all the other houses on the street. In 2002, we wanted to change our house and add a second story with a large gable. It was rejected by the HDC in not being consistent with the looks and in the neighborhood. We revised the addition to be a 3/4 story with 2 opposing dormers. Total square footage was 1,835 square feet. I might add, Val Oliver was the designer of both. 14 Lowell is 2,042 square foot of footage or a footprint without a garage. And it's just not, in my opinion, not in keeping with the neighborhood, and certainly not consistent with the position that the HDC took in 2002 when we asked for renovations on our house. So I think this needs to be substantially altered to conform with the neighborhood of Lowell Place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marsh. Anyone else?
Yes, my name is Vicki Raykov. I am the owner of 12 Lowell Place. And I sent a letter, so I won't repeat what I said in the letter, but I just want to second Jeff Marsh's comments, which were consistent with my own. But I just feel that this house in footprint, in square footage, and in height is just in no way in keeping with what else is on our street. And this is really about Lowell Place and not about any other street. And, you know, we recently did minor revisions, and I felt that the HDC and the HSAB held us to appropriate constraints. And I would hope that that would stay true for new projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rakoff. Anyone else?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'll be brief. I represent families on both sides of this property from Woodbury and from Barnabas. I think Vicki and Jeff have laid it out pretty well. The one thing I would mention to the commission is just the precedent that you're setting for Lowell Place, that there are, I believe, 3 other subdividable lots on the street. And I'm just concerned that if this one's allowed to go up, we'll see 2 or 3 more large houses go up in Lowell, and in short order. It's just economics. And so, you know, I just ask the board to keep that in mind. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Could Xander please state his full name?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sorry. It's Xander Farkas, and it's 9 Barnabas and 20 Woodbury.
How is that, Terry?
I'm Barnabas and what Woodbury?
20 Woodbury.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Terry. Anyone else?
I'd like to go when you're ready.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Diane. Well, I'm just making sure. Anyone else from the public want to speak? If not, we can hear from our first board member. Okay. Go ahead, Diane.
First of all, I would like to state that the house picked up, taken somewhere else is a very well-designed house. I am not questioning any design of a house. I am questioning the design of this house in this location. I don't know. I've tried to read the parts, what the length of the house is. It is too long. It's too long. We've gone there. I have pictures. I have going up 12 driveway and the relationship of this house to the area and to the houses. There isn't another house on this side of Barnabas Lane or Woodbury that is this size. And one of our keepings is to keep the houses along with what is there, to make it like what is there, not to destroy the streetscape. This would completely do that. Do we have a length of the house from north to south?
Is that a question for me?
Yeah, I think you'd be best able to answer that, Matt.
Yeah, I think it's over 90 feet.
Okay.
All right, I would question if there is a house on Lowell Place that is that length. When you buy a piece of land, and
so we're going to get into the economics of for develop. Okay.
No, come on, Matt.
Continue,
when you
Diane.
buy a piece of land in an area, then you have some responsibility to come up with something that is somewhat like the area that you're putting a house in. This house does not fit that. I'm not going to go in and pick it all apart and whatever. I'm going to say that the house at its length and height is inappropriate at 14 Lowell Place, which are smaller, shorter houses. Thank you. That's it.
All right, Diane, thank you. Val, are you ready?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, Stephen, are you ready?
Sure, Mr. Chair. So I'll just reiterate my prior comments. The front 1/3 massing, I think, is too tall. And I do appreciate the fact that this came down something like a foot and a few inches with respect to the change in the roof pitch up there. But if you look at the north elevation, I think it demonstrates, that's on the screen now, the overall mass. Can we look at the south elevation, please? So the south elevation, Matt, I think you've done a good job trying to mask that mass. But I think given the setting, it's just not appropriate for it still to be that much in that front third, basically where the that small gable splits towards the front or in between those windows somewhere. I think that needs to be resized. I don't know if you can make a change to your gable facing, let's see, would it be east? Can we see the east elevation, please? I'm not going to design at the table, but I want to give you specific feedback. So I think primarily this elevation is thank you, Holly or Kadeem. This elevation, I think, demonstrates where if that were somehow changed over to a hip on this end, and you did something similar on the addition to the left, which is probably bathrooms given the window configuration there, it might be more successful. But again, not designing at the table. The point is that this mass, I think, is too large for the setting. I understand Diane's
I just
points.
don't get it. I'm sorry.
Hang on, Matthew. Go ahead.
I understand Diane's points. This is, she's focused on that. I'm going to focus on this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Stephen. How about now, Val?
Okay. I agree with a lot of what's been said. I think the hard part of this structure to start off with is that these oddball subdivisions are allowed. And by virtue of that, I think the building pattern, the neighborhood, setting is disturbed right off the bat. So you kind of have that anomaly to work with right out of the gate. I do appreciate the height reduction. And in terms of height, I would agree with you that it's in keeping with the Woodbury general area, but it's not, I think it's been said, it's not the height, it's the mass, it's the long impact of the north and south, really. And the way it telescopes is a very, trying to think of the word I want to use. It's a very organized telescoping, which I don't know. It makes it feel more modern. It doesn't feel like an old house. And I think there was a comment made earlier about the doors being overscaled. That also lends itself to that modern skew, which is not a bad thing, just maybe not in this setting. And I liked, Matt, your offer of changing the roof on the porch on the south side. That was going to be one of my suggestions, just to sort of, you know, kind of downplay everything. Simple is better. And I agree with everything else that's been said so far. From the initial submission, I think that you've moved in a positive direction. I just think that you need some more work to finesse it to get an approval.
Thank you very much, Val. So I have nothing to add. There were some HSAB comments that I agreed with. I think obviously with a 4-person board, you're going to need to get a majority of us to be in favor of this. So I think, you know, unfortunately, by the way, I should have started my comments out by saying I really appreciate, you know, the efforts that you've made to reduce this in scale. So I'm not blind to.
But he hasn't.
Well, he's certainly from the initial submission. He is. If you compare on what's on the far left-hand side of this sheet in front of us right now with what's on the right, I would say that it's a vastly improved. Is it improved to the point where we're going to get a majority of people to vote this through as is? I don't think. Well, I know not. So I'm not going to add to the pain that you're experiencing right now, Matt. But I think we're going to need to do more revisions unless you want us to take some other approach.
Well, I probably will be heading in that approach. I want to talk to my client, but I just would like to reiterate, I got to be honest with you. I feel that the response to this, I understand Lowell Street it's a small street. It's actually at the base of Nantucket Road. It's at the top of Main Street. The reverence that we're holding for this street and this site, I find really like singular. And I hope and I trust that this same level of scrutiny will be held to other structures and other parcels of similar historic significance. I would just reiterate that this rear section of the structure that is 1 story, it is 1 story. So I really want to, I would just ask respectfully for each member to ask themselves how visible the rear telescoping portion of this structure will be from Lowell Place. Really just ask yourself that, because when you look at these drawings and you stop in these drawings and you look at the north elevation and you see that long elevation, I would submit to you that nobody will see that. So this notion that like this long length, this 90-foot length is going to be glaring in everyone's face is just not true. No one's going to see that building from that perspective. So this is the part, that's why it's really kind of upsetting and frustrating to me, is that we have made a series of changes throughout this process. And I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of momentum behind this now. We've got neighbors from Woodbury, who's a developer, as I understand. And I understand the other neighbors, if they've gone through the review process, but I would submit to you that their properties were significantly smaller. This parcel is pretty big. And so we've kind of designed the house around this parcel. And I think that the notion that the rear section of the structure, which is 1 story, which was intentional, to not be visible, is the one thing that we keep getting like stuck on. And so that's the part that I'm really struggling with. The other notion that the structure needs to come down further. I mean, this is 25 feet tall.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Why is there a point of order? I'm speaking.
Because Matt.
No, but Matt,
You have the floor to present an application, not to debate the merits. And this is absolutely nothing against you. I think you know the high regard I hold your work in. But we are getting mercilessly massacred in these meetings with these debates. We don't have the time, and we don't have the energy, and nor do we have the responsibility to go back and forth with an applicant. And I mean no disrespect, but this is part of the process. When we have 50 applications a meeting and we meet for 5 hours on a Tuesday and an hour and a half on a Thursday, I personally have no concern or issues putting the time in. But it has to be respectful, and it needs to be, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I got to say this. It needs to be in a controlled manner where the applicant presents their information and we make our determinations. This is not the Senate floor or at the State House. We need the information. We need to confirm we have the information correctly understood, and then we need to make decisions. We've rendered a decision, and with that, I'm going to make a motion to hold for revisions.
Okay.
You know what? I actually, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, but I do deserve to actually be heard. This is not this. I think we do deserve to have a debate. If I disagree with the board's comments, if I'm trying to understand the board's comments, I think I have a right as an applicant to question those, especially because we have gone through this process, and I feel like we have made a number of changes. And if you're telling me that they're not far enough, I mean, Stephen, you requested that I drop the height. I did that. And now you're saying to drop it further. And to me, less than 25 feet, how much further do you want me to go?
The board has rendered their comments.
That's fine.
Thank you. Stephen has made a motion to hold for revisions. So on that motion, Val.
Aye.
Diane.
Aye.
Thank you, Stephen.
Aye.
And Stephen, by the way, I very much appreciate your point of order comments. I feel the same way. And I'm in favor of that motion. So the motion carries 4 in favor. Sorry, Matt. So now it is well after 2:30. So I think we're just going to have to take everything else up on the list at the beginning of next Tuesday's meeting. And Kadeem, anything time sensitive we need to act on at this time under other business before we adjourn?
There is nothing time sensitive under other business today.
Okay, so we'll hopefully get to something on Tuesday. All right, so can I have a motion to adjourn then, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Wow, I think that was Stephen first. So on the motion, Diane.
Aye.
Val.
Aye.
John.
Repeat the motion, please.
To adjourn.
I'm sorry?
To adjourn. To adjourn. Are you in favor of the motion to adjourn? I certainly hope so. John?
Aye.
Is that an aye? John, please.
Both my hearing aids are dead.
Okay, let's move to Abby. Abby.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, and Stephen?
Aye.
And I'm in favor. Okay, thanks for hanging in there, everyone.
Before everyone does leave, sorry, Ray, there's no meeting next week. Our next HDC meeting will be on Tuesday, the 16th.
Say it isn't so.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know whether to jump.
Resilient Nantucket.
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks for reminding everyone of that fact. Thanks, Kadeem. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.